We did one of these a month ago.
The chicken? Oh,
no,
you mean...
no. God, I wish. Why would you even bring that up? I wanted so bad. You said let's get chicken yesterday, and I was like, ooh, splurge.
I'm not a rich man, Robert. You mean we did an episode of this a month ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, what if I had tempted you with the chicken and then then it was like not there? Oh, that would be the worst. But we hung out after, and a discovery was made.
Okay, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Was I aware of this discovery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
I'm shaming you, perhaps, maybe.
Oh yeah.
We've been doing this Watching It podcast for 4 years now.
Yep.
Which means we've done 4 Oscar movie specials.
Yep. Did we do one the first year?
I think so. Anyway, at least 3.
At least 3.
And I mistakenly am often under the impression that everyone has seen the massive amount of content that I have.
Right.
Which is untrue.
Yeah. It's I mean the way
nobody can keep up with
digesting anime right now. I'm like, by the time I watch all the anime you've watched in the past couple of weeks, I'll be like 87.
Yeah, I just I'm not most people haven't watched every Oscar movie that's ever happened, but I thought we were on at least somewhat the same page until I discovered that you had never seen Amadeus.
Yes, that is correct.
And I ask you now, Donnell, it has been a month since I pleaded with you.
I don't think it's been a month since you pleaded with me. I think we discovered, and I think
at the moment it was discovered, I stopped and was like, Donnell, you need to do it. So I ask you, have you seen Amadeus?
I have not seen Amadeus. I'm sorry.
All right, every week.
Every week?
From here on,
every week until I see it.
I'm going to ask you, have you seen Amadeus? Because it is the best. It's the great. Look, this is Talkin It, episode 35.
Yeah.
It's not watching it, but I got to get it off my chest, okay?
It's weighing on Robert.
Yeah. You got to see it. It's the greatest. It's the best picture movie ever.
Of all time.
Okay. In my opinion.
All right.
I think a lot of people would probably agree with me.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot.
Not the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
But it's up there.
But of the best picture nominees and winners, it's the best.
Like, you didn't even understand my gripe with Oppenheimer.
No.
Because if you've seen Amadeus, then you know why Oppenheimer sucked. Because there was a good movie there.
Yeah.
Because they were like touching on some Amadeus level stuff. And yeah.
Okay.
You got to do it, Donnell.
I mean, I will. I promise you I will. I don't know if it will be this next week or not, but
hey, I'm just saying next week. When you show up here, first thing I'm asking you is, have you seen Amadeus yet? And it's never going to stop until you say yes. And you can give me a concept, some kind of proof that you've seen it.
I'm just gonna go home and read up on it real quick. Give you a couple in there plot points.
I'm gonna ask you something visual about the movie. That's
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I promise you, I'm gonna watch. I just don't know. I just don't know for sure yet.
Now I need to make a list of things that you have that I think everyone has to watch, and you have to check off what you've already seen and then start working.
I'd be interested to see how much of that list I have already seen. I feel like I might do all right, but I don't know.
I mean, the list is going to be long.
Oh no, I know. It's gonna be a lot. I just feel like I come out with a 40% rate. I could come out. We're like Nethkin. I guess I said his name. It's already out.
Whatever.
But
they don't know who Nethkin is.
They don't know who Nethkin is.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, him, I feel like he'd come in at a 10%, maybe, So that's where I feel like I could come in at a 40, maybe even a 50, might be able to be I did all right.
Nice. Anyway, you've been hounded about
all right
the subject.
That
we
was
can
very.
We can get off the movie.
That was very watching it. That was so watching it.
Well, we just got. It was when we did Talking It.
I know. So I got an update. Got an update of a story we've been tracking for a little bit, Robert. Got a little bit of an update. If you don't know, this is about the mustard and ketchup cars at my job.
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
The saga.
So my last update was they had both disappeared.
Yep.
Neither of them were coming into work. And
I don't know why I'm trying to look this up on my phone. There's no data.
The theory that you put forth is that
like,
one of them killed the other and was on the run. Well, they have both come back.
Okay.
And they
eloped.
They are not parking together.
Okay.
But they're parking on the same floor.
Okay.
Which, before they had both disappeared, they were parking on different floors. So I'm like, maybe we're working on things. Maybe they went on like some sort of like couples therapy retreat.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they both were gone for a couple of weeks. And now they didn't work it all out, but they're like, maybe we give this a second.
Still haven't seen these people, right?
Still have not seen them. Don't know who they are. My other theory, and this is less likely, but also because of the way things have developed, I'm like, maybe is that one of them just happens to be someone who listens to Talkin It, and they're like, we're doing this on purpose. They're like, next we're gonna like, I don't know, buy an orange car.
That'd be funny.
And we both, but yeah, they have both returned, and they're parking on the same aisle. I mean, same level. I feel like this is progress. I feel like, you know, they're working back. You know, they hit a rough patch, you know, and sometimes that happens in relationships. But I feel like
one day, Donnell, you got to get there early.
Yeah.
Or stay late.
Yeah.
And like just scope it out.
Just be hanging out in the parking lot waiting for them. Who are you? Tell me what your relationship is with that person.
No. You don't got to talk to them. You just got to get a visual.
Just got to get a visual.
Yeah.
See what we're dealing with here. Yeah. But so you know, maybe next time I'll be like, they're back together. They're back parking together. I don't know. That's my hope. I don't know them, but I just feel like I've just witnessed one of the biggest tragedies. Just these two falling apart. I just really hope they can bring it back together.
Is it like a very empty parking lot? Okay.
It's full. They and I think is they get there early.
I'm like, what caused you to notice this?
It was just weird that this yellow and red car always were parked next to each other. Like they always were parked next to each other. And
I mean, everybody's got a spot, right?
Sure.
Like I got at my office, I got a spot that I like.
But it's like it's just so clear. Like you have a black car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be the same as if you parked in your spot, and then every day after that, a white car parked next to you, and then another black car parked on the other side, so it looked like a fucking Oreo.
Yeah.
And it's all the time, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Now there you three are. You know, you just notice it. You're just like, well, that's weird. And like I said, their cars are very, like it's yellow and red, but like I mean, the red is just red, but that's ketchup. But the yellow is very clear. Like it's not just like a yellow. It looks like mustard.
Got that like oranges color to it.
It looks like you just slap a French's sticker on there and it's advertising. I don't know. But yeah, and they just always are parked together. And then you notice that, and then when they aren't parking together, you also notice that because it's just like, what's going on? What happened?
Fair enough.
Changed?
What kind of cars are they?
So one is a Lexus hatchback. I don't know what they call it.
Okay.
And one is a Kia Soul.
Okay. I like a Kia Soul.
Kia Soul is the mustard, and Lexus hatchback is the ketchup.
Okay.
And, I'm just hoping they're going to work things out. You know, it looks like we're on the right foot. And
I just can't think of Lexus making a hatchback.
Yeah, no,
that's a weird.
I looked at them for a while actually because I like a good hatchback.
It's a nice looking car,
and I was like, maybe I move up to the next tier, get myself a Lexus. And I looked at the Lexus hatchbacks, and I was like, maybe I get me one of those. I did not.
It just feels like Lexus. Just I think of like luxury.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think of hatchback when I think of luxury.
Same. I agree with you, but I'm just saying they made
it's like
one.
the Lamborghini truck,
which isn't a truck at all,
or the Ferrari SUV.
I hate that they call it a truck. I'm like, what is a truck? You have a bed. You can put stuff in. Like it's you can call it a Lamborghini SUV, but they call it a Lambo truck. That frustrates me. Robert,
I mean, Lamborghini did make kind of like a proper truck back in the day.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Never had seen.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, that is. See that's acceptable. I would accept that. I mean, that's a very short bed, but at least it's there.
Yep.
I mean, you're not doing any moving or hauling in a Lamborghini, even if it is a truck.
Yeah, you're not going off roading.
You drop
Lamborghini.
You drop a couple $100,000 on a Lamborghini. You're not going to be like, hey, I'll help you move next Friday. No, that ain't happening. So, Robert, our fans know you have been in a perpetual war with nature.
Yes.
You've the ants, the
salamanders,
There was the fly assault that happened.
Yep, there's
that was a terrible war.
Always spiders.
Spiders.
Ducks sometimes.
Yeah. So this is kind of your area of expertise. You're a man who's just constantly, it's like
I'm one with nature.
It's America's war on terrorism, except it's Robert's war on nature. You ain't gonna win.
No,
but
nature.
You're still fighting.
I'm not in the battle. Well, I mean, sometimes I got a swatter,
Yeah.
But no, it's nature's war on me.
Yeah, true.
Not my war on nature.
Yeah,
I'm not going out there.
They're the
coming
ones
to me.
coming into your territory.
Yeah.
Well, my mom has been assaulted.
Oh,
the war has found her, because up at my mom's place, a woodpecker has decided it wants to come inside my mom's house.
Okay.
And so this is kind of an old story because it's been going on for a while. Because this actually started last year, probably like around September-ish. My mom was like, a bird has drilled a hole in my wall, and I was like, what the hell does that even mean? you don't hear about that often.
Yeah.
So I came over and she showed me there was just a hole, and she had like stuffed some gauze in it and like put a piece of wood over it, and I was like, okay.
So does your mom live in a house or apartment?
She lives in a house.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Renting or own?
Owning.
Okay.
She owns it and paid off too. Like she fully owns it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
She's like multi-millionaire.
No, just, it's been a long time coming. But anyways,
you got a house in the Seattle region.
So anyways, and I'll admit something about me. I mean, I'm sure if you've listened, you know this. I'm not a manly man. I'm not a handyman.
I'll agree.
I'll do a little. I like to get out the tools to do a little simple stuff. I fixed my stairway, but like hole in house, way above my pay grade. Like we've left the area.
I figured like you could watch a YouTube video and get it done.
Maybe.
You gotta buy maybe. I mean, how? So it's a wall. It's an exterior wall.
It's an exterior wall.
So it
went from the outside exterior, which is wood, all the way through whatever's in between the outside and inside, and insulation, all the way through the drywall. Like it's in. Well, it didn't get in the house. Luckily, it was caught before that. But it was. You could look through the hole and see outside, and that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I can understand if it was just like a hole in like the outside, but like for it to like go through the void between one wall and then the
So, anyways. Like I said, so once again, like my mom calls me over, and I'm like, most I can be like, hey, what you gonna do? But like, I'm not fixing it.
You know what I'm doing? I'm calling my insurance and hiring a licensed contractor.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not paying a dime for it.
Exactly.
And,
I mean, maybe I don't know the insurance. Yeah, maybe that covers it. I don't know, but at least you're hiring a professional. That's what you do. Well, my mom's just like, I don't know who to call, and I'm like, oh, you probably need to. Like, I don't know, exterminate or animal something. I don't know what it is.
First of all, has the bird been dealt with? Because then otherwise it's just going to happen.
Well, we're getting to that. So,
by the way, that would be so crazy. I would go insane because you would just like hear the bird knocking.
Oh, and she does. Yeah, because we're going to get to that.
There'd be a time where I'm like, what the hell is that?
Anyways,
and woodpeckers are crazy. Like they're loud.
So I was like, yeah, call somebody. Like, I don't know who to call. I'm like, I mean, the phone book's still a thing, or online. I'm sure you can find somebody. But instead, she contacted some family friends who usually, if they were still living in Washington, this family friend, her husband, like he's the handyman, fix everything. Like all the cars that his kids had growing up, like he'd give each kid a car, was a car that he like pulled out of some wreck somewhere and rebuilt from scratch, and then he did all his own work. So like, but he's in Idaho now, so it's like he ain't coming back from Idaho to fix this. But she called him, and he gave my mom a couple numbers of guys to call. So in my mind, we're done. Like, got some numbers of some guys gonna come, bing bam boom, we're done.
So has anybody seen this woodpecker?
Yeah, we've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the breed?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure. We could ask somebody at the end of the story because we're going to get there. So yeah, in my mind, we're done. I did not realize that my mom, she called one of the guys, and he like said he'd come by. He looked at the situation, said he could fix it, and then just vanished, I guess. But I'm like, okay, well then you call, like my mom said she got a couple numbers. I'm like, you call the next number, or you hop online, because you don't have to call people who only like you hop.
Break out the yellow pages.
Exactly. So anyways, it was never dealt with, but over winter, I guess, birds, they fly south, so it bounced, but it came back. So it comes back, and it's back with a vengeance, and it's getting in the house now. It's working. Hole's getting bigger. My mom's panicking. She's calling me, and I'm just like, that really sucks. But once again, what do you want me to like? I can come over there and like put it like I can do the piece of wood over the whole thing, sure, but it's a woodpecker. It's just gonna go do that. Like it's just gonna get.
No, you got to kill the bird first.
So well,
I bet they may be in danger.
They are.
Okay.
So that's the thing is, so because I was like, yeah, you gotta do something. And so, anyways, my mom, she started like panicking and started. My mom hates birds, hates birds. And so a bird in her house, I honestly think my mom might die.
That's an odd thing to hate.
She might have a heart attack. Like if a bird was in her house, like I think she might just die. So
I say you just ignore the situation and get a house done.
So anyways, like she calls me up and she's like, I feel like I'm being attacked. The bird is just going out of his way, and I'm like, Mom,
the bird knows
exactly. Well, that's the thing is like that's the way my mom is treating it.
Evil begets evil.
She talks about this bird like it's on a mission and that it's a vendetta because she talks about how like
having nightmares.
So the bird, like I said, it's been drilling. Well, anyway, so she put up some metal over the hole.
Okay.
And better still, just get somebody here to take care of it. But anyway, she put some metal over the hole.
Now it's just gonna be loud.
And yeah, and she hears it. So when it starts hitting on the metal, she comes out with a rubber mallet and she pounds back. And I'm just like, and then
I love this story.
She has a guy paying.
Do you have a picture of the hole?
No, I don't.
Okay, next time I need to see.
I'll get one. Yeah. So then she has a guy who is paying rent to live there, and she sent him out with the water hose one day. And when she heard it pounding, he went and sprayed it and all that stuff. And so then, and I'm not saying birds are smart.
That's dangerous because then you're gonna get water in the hole. And
birds are smart, but I'm like, I don't think so. So then, anyways, my mom. So this is the thing. Like the reason why my mom owns this house is it's like I think it's like 30 years old now. Like we bought it when I was. No, it's not 30 years old because I was older than 5. I think I was like 9. So it's not. It's like 20-something years old. Like it's an older house and stuff. And older houses, stuff breaks down over time. So my mom one day came outside and found the water faucet was busted. It was just leaking water and stuff. Okay. And to me, that just sounds like old house. You've had it for 25 years. Yeah, no, my mom was like, I think the bird like connected that. We sprayed it with the hose, and so it went and attacked there. And I'm like, Mom, this bird is not like this bird is just looking for a warm spot to lay some eggs. That's what and this house seems nice. But you like in her mind, this bird is out to get her or just to take the house from her. Like this is first assault in the war of the birds.
Yeah.
But anyways, she's been dealing with it and she's been really stressing over it. And I'm like, Mom, you just gotta call somebody. So finally she talks to some more people and they're like, yeah, you can just call Orchid. Like they do that sort of thing. I'm like, yeah, well, you see the Orchid commercial all the time. So Orchid came and looked at the hole. And that's where things get weird. It's already weird, but weird in a different sense. Because Orchid comes look and like, yep, that's a woodpecker. And he's like, can't kill it, but we can relocate it. And then we install these things that make it feel like there's a predator watching. Like it's weird things you put in your house and birds thinks are eyes or whatever. And so I'm like, cool. That was like on a Monday. And Orchid's like, yeah, so we can get back out here next Tuesday. Like not tomorrow, but like a week and a day. And I'm like, what you guys up to? Where you're like, what's your schedule look like? That I mean, I know there's a lot of animals, but I'm just like, how does Orchid not have time to get out here sometime this week before this bird gets in my mom's house and my mom dies of a heart attack? I'm like, how does Orchid not have time to get out here? But they're like, we'll be back in a week. So my mom spent a week off from work because she was just like, I just don't trust that bird not to get in the house, even though she put metal up over it. My mom spent a week off from work, basically sitting at home, pounding on the wall with a rubber mallet every time the bird knocked back until finally Orchid came. And so Orchid has come. They removed the bird, took it somewhere, and they've installed these things. But yeah, I was just like, my mom just was at home for a week, just pounding on the hole. Now
I was just looking this up. Apparently, this is a common issue.
Really, I'd never heard. This is the first time I'd ever heard of anything like this happening.
And if this is to be believed, it is the reason that we invented wind chimes.
Really?
Because they make flashing in the light as they swing.
Yeah.
And the sound scares away the bird.
So that is new.
Because it's saying like you should put like mirrors or like hanging mirrors or tinfoil or something that will catch the light. And or something that will make noise like a wind chime, and that'll scare away the bird.
Okay. Get my mom some wind chimes.
That's an interesting.
Mother's Day is coming up.
Because I never thought about like, okay, why do we make wind chimes other than that? Like they're they sound cool.
Sounds nice. Yeah, that's what I always assumed was like, hey, you put outside your house, so things it sounds pleasant when the wind blows. But okay,
interesting.
It's to scare off birds because apparently they be trying to get in your house. I mean, I already told this story on the podcast about a bird that got into my house, and when that happened, I spent time looking for a hole just because I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't had the same thing happen to me. I never found a hole. I think it just flew in the door when I wasn't paying attention. But yeah. So yeah, you're no longer alone in the war against nature, Robert. Nice. My mom has
the house I grew up in, one of many, but the first one, the house was built in 1880. So like. In the 80s, it was 100 years old when I was living in it.
Yeah.
And it had a fireplace. It was a weird house. It had no hallways.
So just rooms connected to rooms?
Yep.
That is weird.
Just like in a big donut.
Okay.
With like a one wall in the middle that went down the middle. There was kind of a pseudo hallway where the bathroom was, but it's not really a hallway.
Yeah.
It was more like a closet that separated the two rooms with a bathroom in there.
Yeah.
It's weird. So, like, if I wanted to go to the bathroom, I either had to go through my sister's room or I had to go through my parents' room.
Okay.
It was weird.
That is weird. That's really weird. I mean, if you're going to do that, put the bathroom connected to, like, one of the more public rooms, like a living room or something.
I'm pretty sure the bathtub that I bathed in for the formative years of my development was just solid lead. Like, absolutely no way. This wasn't just solid lead. Yeah. The paint, like everything, it was just no good. But anyway, like I said, it had a fireplace, but it wasn't like a modern fireplace. It was like an old fireplace. So it didn't have like all the kind of, I don't know, things to stop things from getting in.
Yeah.
So we would just be sitting there. We didn't have central air.
Yeah.
Because it's an old house. And yeah, we'd have the fire going, all the time. And every now and then, just like a bird or something would just fly right into the fire, and it was chaos. Just like an owl would just like get in there and just fly right into the fire, and it was all over the place and flying around on fire. It was
that is insane. Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah. We'd put it out, but the bird wouldn't be dead, so we'd have to like take it outside and kill it and all this stuff. We learned about life and death. Putting things out of their misery. Yeah. A bat got in one time.
Yeah.
Like I just woke up and there was a bat hanging on the wall.
So I went on a trip this last summer with my dad and stuff, and we were staying in this house, and the last day we were staying there, we were like everybody's, we were having breakfast, getting ready to go, and we just kept seeing like a shadow flitting through our peripheral. We look, there's a bat just flying around the house, and we're like we were renting this place. It wasn't our place, and so it gets to be checkout time, and like we tried like scaring the bat out, but it's like it had really high voltage. Like it was 2 stories, and then on the first story, like the ceiling was just voltage, so there was no like everything was at the second story level, and so the bat's just up there like we can get out, and I'm just like we just leave the bat.
Yeah.
We just left a note.
Not your problem.
We just like there's a bat in the house. Just left a note on the counter. Just like I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, it's up there. We ain't getting it down. We ain't got no ladders. And it's like I said, it's not our house, not our problem. And yeah, it was just like, it was a weird moment. We're just all sitting at the door, like we just leaving the bat. All right, we leaving the bat.
He's got his own life.
Yeah. I mean, and this is a vacation rental.
What if you got it? What if you got it out? Then the owner was like, "What did you do with the bat?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where's my bat?" I'm like, I'm not sure if I said this, but yeah. So
did everybody go get a rabies shot?
No, I mean we don't think it was in there. Like we only saw it the last day.
Okay.
And it was.
I don't know if you've read about the rabies stuff, but like you could get bit by a bat and get rabies and not even know it.
Yeah.
You might just think that you scratched yourself or something.
True.
And like it could take 20 years.
Yeah.
To start having symptoms. And once you have symptoms, you're dead.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a not fun death.
Maybe I'll swing by the doctor on the way home.
I don't know how much it costs to get a rabies thing, but just be like, hey, I had an encounter with a bat. I don't know, but let's just get that taken care of now.
The house, because I think I talked about this also, is like, so the house that we were renting is owned by, I can't remember what his name is. Patrick Warburton.
Oh, okay. Wahlberg?
Yeah. No, not
Warburton.
Warburton. He's like, the first thing that always comes to mind is the Emperor's New Groove. He does the voice of Kronk, but he's,
Oh yeah. From Seinfeld.
Yeah, there we go. Seinfeld. Yeah, I mean, he's been around for a while.
He's got a good voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a fantastic voice. I'm just like, man, this man has the best voice for just doing animation and stuff. But anyways, yeah, it was his house. We found that out after we were staying there. And so yeah, my thing is like, it's his vacation rental. Like, he rents it out and stuff, but then like that's where he goes, because we were in the middle of nowhere, Oregon. Like, just literally. No one's. I can't even remember the name of the place now. But whenever I be like, "Oh, we're going here," even people in Oregon be like, "Where's that?" Like, it's in your state. But yeah, so like, this is literally his. He's a famous person. This is where he goes when he just wants to be left alone. And I just kept thinking like, this is a vacation rental. Maybe somebody else is going to rent it before he comes. Like, I just feel weird about him. Swinging out for a nice, relaxing weekend away from it all. Him and his wife just trying to enjoy it, and then there's a freaking bat in the house. And I was like, but I'm just like, sadly, that's Patrick's problem. He will have to deal with said bat in the house. As a kid, actually, well, not a kid.
That would be so funny if y'all got it out of the house and then we saw like him on like some late night show or something, and he'd be like, "Man, I used to rent out my house, but then someone stole my bat."
I'd be like, "Well, you should have told us about the bat then, Patrick. You don't just let the bat show up." No, it was when I was a kid, though. Actually, just another experience of animals getting in the house that you wouldn't expect. So I was in my room. When we bought our house, and this is another reason why it was cheaper, it was unfinished. So as it stands now, it's a even actually now it's not technically a 5-bedroom, but it's basically set up as a 5-bedroom, 3-bath with a family room and a living room.
That's a lot of house.
It's a lot of house, yeah. But when we bought it, it was listed as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath because the downstairs wasn't finished.
Okay.
And so then the downstairs was listed as like open space, which we still had to pay for, but it's a lot cheaper to buy open space than bedrooms. But anyway, so we put that all out. But anyway, so eventually we built out the downstairs. Me and my brother got rooms downstairs that were fairly big and stuff.
But you're not a handyman.
No, I mean, I didn't. I was a kid. My dad and like a bunch of guys. I just meant my family in general.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I'm sure at some point I swung a hammer, but it was more of like, look at the little boy with, because I was like 9. Okay, I'm not building a house, Robert, at 9.
I built a cabin at well, I guess I was probably like 14.
Yeah. But anyways, so we got our bedrooms downstairs and stuff. And so I lived downstairs and all that stuff. And one day I was in my bedroom. And I was just like minding my own business. And we had like this thick this thick carpet. And I just saw this yellow and black bug head coming up through my carpet.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked closer, and it was a fucking hornet.
Yeah.
So I killed it. And then I was like, how'd that get in my room? Why was it so deep in my carpet? And so, I was just like, whatever, bugs sit in the house sometimes. It happens again.
Oh, coming from the floor? Yeah,
coming from the floor.
There's a nest.
Yes. I did not know this, but yeah, there are types of hornets that don't do nests up in a wall. They dig down into the ground and make a little hornet's nest. And these guys had gotten underneath our house, and then I guess, I don't know how.
They're like the worst, too.
Yeah. They got, and so, yeah, I was like panicked once I figured out this is what's going on. I told my mom, and she was like, I don't think that happens. I'm like, I looked it up online.
Yeah.
And so then I showed her, and then we found the nest outside, and so we like hired an exterminator and come and kill it, and we had to like have somebody come and like redo part of our foundation because of like how the hell they get do our foundation.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, that was a very, because I mean, I've come to terms, especially because I know the lot of work that honeybees and bumblebees and stuff do in pollinating and keeping plants alive. So I've come to terms where I'm like, okay, I will. Bees are okay. I will accept them. They can be over there.
No, I like the bees.
But for the longest time, because I got stung by hornets and stuff, and I just lumped them all together. I guess I was doing a little profiling as stuff. I was always like, if we could exterminate all wasps, hornets, bees, I'd sign off on it. Now I've walked that statement back. The bees need to be here, but I still have
the hornets. They're not.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. I still have yet to find out why we have hornets. So I'm like, if anybody
to keep the bee population under control, but we're doing that just fine.
Yeah, but I say humans are doing fine with that. We don't need the hornets anymore.
I didn't think that we had hornets up here in the Pacific Northwest. I thought it was too cold. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy living here, because we had them like nobody's business in Texas, and they're motherfuckers.
I have said this so many times about Washington and why, like, even though growing up I didn't like it as much, now I'm just like, Washington is just so great because it's like, You know, it's like almost every other state. It's like California forest fires all the time
Yep.
and stuff, and then earthquakes in other states. You got Tornado Alley. You have floods, all stuff, and then if not that, there's the wildlife. A different like I hate most insects. And you hear about like cockroaches and scorpions and all these deadly spiders. But here in Washington, it's like none of that. And I'm just like this is the state. Like, I'm just like, this is the state to be. Oh, it rains a bunch. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's not so bad, man. Texas is so bad with the bugs. Like, so you hear like the frogs.
Yeah.
Over at my place because I got like 1 million frogs or whatever across the street, and like at nighttime they're all like, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, you know. And
huge ass.
imagine
it's
Texas.
A huge orgy outside your house every night.
Dude, I mean, like I was outside the other day smoking a cigarette, and it was nice and sunny, and I heard all the birds chirping, and that's what's going on. They're all just like, do me, do me, do me, do me. The sounds of nature are the sounds of nature.
Yes.
Okay. Like everyone's like, oh, it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's like no, they're at the club peacocking. You know?
Yes.
But no, in Texas, it's like 10 times as loud, and it's all bugs. Just at night.
Nope. No.
Just super loud, especially during cicada season.
Yeah.
I love the sound of it. But yeah, it's crazy.
Cicadas are
the ones I hate the most are June bugs.
June bugs. I never heard of
They're like, I mean, you'd have to look up what they are, but they just fly in your face. They're like little pellets that just fly in your face and whatnot. I do love fireflies though, but apparently we killed them all.
Yeah.
They're almost completely gone. You mentioned an animal a moment ago that I've been thinking about recently. So we talk about the duck-billed platypus. Like that's a weird evolutionary situation, you know? It's like, but scorpions, the fuck is happening there? What is going on? It's like a land crab with this weird stinging tail. There's aliens.
Yeah.
They're aliens.
There's some weirdness going on with scorpions.
How does that happen? Like, it makes no sense how scorpion... They're like spider, lobster... I don't even know. Nothing else has that tail.
No, I mean, it's like some weird advanced hornet situation going on the tail. But
and there's different ones in different places. I'm like, so they have to be like, you know, like they didn't just evolve separately, right?
No.
So that means that they were part of Pangea, which means they've been around forever.
Oh yeah. They've definitely been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that's the thing. Is honestly, I think the most terrifying things left on this planet are all the things that have survived longer than most of the things. Because I'm just like, I mean, usually like great white sharks and alligators. Well, they've just been here the whole time. Like, you know, they like great white sharks and alligators bumped into actual dinosaurs stuff. So I'm just like,
I mean, look, the crocodiles and alligators, they are dinosaurs.
They pretty much are. Yeah, they are. They just, I always love that. It's like when it's like evolution and everybody else is like, oh man, we got to evolve to do better. And Croc's like, nah, we're good.
I don't understand how we lost mammoths. Why didn't we keep mammoths around?
Got too hot.
Well, no, we hunted them to extinction.
True.
I mean, I don't think it just got too. I guess it could have just gotten too hot. But you would think like because they only like went extinct like what 11,000 years ago,
something like that.
There wasn't some rich guy 11,000 years ago that was like the what I don't know the drug guy. Who was the drug cocaine kingpin back in the day? That got the hippopotamuses or whatever down in Colombia
the cocaine
that are
hippos.
a problem now. Yeah.
What is it? Why can Pablo Escobar?
Pablo Escobar. Yeah, like there wasn't a Pablo Escobar of you know, the Incas or something that was like, I'm gonna get me some a breeding pair of mammoths and keep them around as my like thing, and then like they just, you know, that lineage stayed around.
Yeah.
We got to get on the cloning technology because there's still viable. No, I don't know. I don't think there's viable DNA for the mammoth.
I mean, there's a guy
because it degrades in like 500 years.
It degrades, but no, there was a scientist who was working on bringing back mammoth by basically using like strands of their, like not full their DNA, but strands of DNA and mixing it with elephants. But the product that was coming out the other side was more of like, they weren't woolly mammoths, they're just like strangely hairy elephants. Like,
okay. Oh no, he did this. He did the thing.
Yeah. And it was just like an elephant.
Where is he from? He does not have a good ethics board.
Had strain. It was just an elephant with more body hair than normal.
Dude, I mean, the whole genetic thing is crazy because they isolated like the DNA for a fly's wing. And they tried to like splice it with another flying insect, and it just grew into that insect's wing. Like it knows how to code itself.
Oh, yeah.
Like it though. Yeah, it's
DNA is insane, and it's one of the reasons why, like, because I remember they're talking about like one of the things that they want to do is they want to try and stop malaria, is to basically like make it like genetically alter mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, there
stuff.
was like they were
making
a sterile
sounds,
breeding mosquitoes, so
Yeah.
that way they would like breed but not produce offspring,
Yeah.
or their offspring wouldn't produce offspring, or something like that.
And
yeah.
my thing was just like I said, it's like it's all well and good. There's always like, but you can't know for sure what other because like you said, DNA knows, and what else will it affect with its coding? If you put that in there, and like, well, that affects a lot. Where it's like, yeah, it's like you just don't know. It's like genetics and DNA. I'm always like, that's a science of like, it all sounds good on paper. It sounds really good on paper, but it's just quick and slippery slope into just zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I know. So I'll tell you two other weird kind of facts that I've learned recently is that your innards, like your intestines and stuff, if they do surgery on you and they have to like pull them out to get them out of the way or something, they can just shove that shit back in without because it will fit no matter how you knot it up or put it in there. They reconfigure themselves into their original state. The heck is happening there? What the hell? Like you just ball it all up, put it back in, and then over time it's just gonna move around and uncurl itself.
Just give it a little bit of time.
Go right back into the good position. And you mentioned malaria. We should never, or we're never supposed to get rid of malaria completely, because it's used to cure leprosy.
Really?
Malaria cures leprosy.
Okay.
Something like you get so sick that it just kills the leprosy.
But then after
I don't know who figured that out.
But then after leprosy's dead, now you have malaria.
Yeah, but we know how to cure malaria.
Yeah.
We don't know how to cure leprosy other than giving you malaria. Yeah.
So malaria is the reason why we don't have leprosy anymore.
Well, we do have leprosy.
I mean, we do, but it's not.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where leprosy was kind of like
a big deal.
Yeah.
Somehow it happened in Africa. I was like, but they would just give malaria. What's happening there? Anyway, we're going to take a break there. When we come back, we'll talk about some news.
All right, Robert. Been a little bit of a nature animal kick.
Okay.
We've talked in this, and figure we'll go ahead and continue that as we lead into some news. So our first story is coming from Fox News.
Fox. Fox.
Man, yeah. And this one is just more of facts I learned after the fact. The story isn't that engaging, but so fisherman hooks prehistoric 200-pound alligator snapping turtle before catching monster alligator gar.
Okay.
So this is coming from a Kentucky angler who went to Texas for a fishing competition. He had previously won a world record by catching a 293-pound alligator gar. Which alligator gar is a fish.
I know what an alligator
just want
gar
to make sure.
is.
Just want to make sure.
I'm from Texas.
All
I know
right.
what alligator
All
gars
right.
are.
Well, anyways, they were looking to break the record again, and had multiple times where they had gotten one hooked, but got away. But finally, they got something hooked. But the guy, I mean, I guess if you fish a bunch, you know how things feel. The guy was like, "This isn't a fish. This is a turtle." And so yes, they pulled out this.
Oh, yeah. I know what an alligator is. I've seen one.
200 pounds. And so then I was like, wait a second. Is 200 pounds, like, is that really big? And so I looked up. This is where the thing that caught my attention about this story. So the American alligator snapping turtle, which is the largest freshwater turtle in the world, the males can be 29 inches long and 249 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, so this guy, I mean, it's a pretty big one, but not the biggest. Here's where things, this is the part that why this is in here. Because I'm just like, how? I mean, I guess they lay eggs, so I guess maybe it's not as bad. Because the females can be 22 inches and up to 62 pounds.
Okay.
And I'm just like, so the males are 200 pounds more heavier than the females? I'm just like, what does that mean?
You know, hey, do you know what? Here's a crazy one for you. You've seen a black widow?
Mm-hmm.
All the black widows that you can picture in your head?
Females.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that.
The male, 1,000 times smaller.
Mm-hmm. And it's when the females want to mate, it's just a crazy male orgy. And then the reason why they're called black widows is a lot of the males get eaten after the fact. I'm like, I know humans. Humans, we like sex. Everybody enjoys sex, but I'm just like, I'm not sure if I'm willing to risk like there's gonna be so me and 500 other guys all have sex with a female, and then we all run as fast as possible, but she's gonna catch and kill some of us. I'm just like, sir, I'm not sure I'd sign up for that. I'm just like, sex sex is good, but I'm just like, I don't like them odds. I'm just like, is it really worth it?
Bees, queen bees.
Mm-hmm.
I learned not too long ago when they are born, they immediately go and have sex with all the bees in the colony, have a giant orgy.
Mm-hmm.
Never again.
Yeah.
All the bees that a queen will ever produce are from that one event.
Yep.
She just keeps the load. Inside and and so it's like if you can like re-queen a beehive, like get a queen from another beehive and just put it in there, and then it'll just replace all the bees with a different variety over time. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, that's that story. To wrap things up, he did.
Alligator snapping turtles are cool, but they are scary. Dude.
Oh yeah,
they could just chomp through your arm.
There's a reason why they get to have the word alligator in their name. Is do not put your hand anywhere near that mouth because they
got cool shells. Yeah. Okay. She sells. She sells. I can't even do it. No.
So he didn't break the record. So the record that he set with last year for 290-pound alligator gar was on 6-pound cable or cord, and he didn't break that record, but he did set a record for 400-pound cord, or not 4-pound cord.
Gotcha.
And he caught a 193.
Oh, that's interesting. That's how they determine. The biggest fish you can catch with the flimsiest of line.
Yes, exactly. He wasn't able to replicate his success at 6 pounds, but he did set a record at 400 pounds. I'm trying to see where they said somewhere in here. Oh, 188 pounds, which the previous record was actually 117. So he destroyed it. This guy knows.
You know what's crazy is like is it grabbing?
The catfish thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's noodling.
Noodling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they call it noodling. Where you stick your arm in there and
you find a hole underwater, and this is not water you can see through.
Nope,
and you
it
just
is muddy and
shove
dark.
your arm into this
a hole,
invisible hole.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is not a good idea.
And hope that there's a catfish down there and not something else.
And then the catfish just swallows your arm.
Just swallows your arm.
And you grab it on the inside and
pull it out. Insanity.
Ridiculous.
Insanity. I'm not signing. You can't. No.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. All right. We're gonna continue the animals a little bit and a little close to home, Robert.
Oh.
Not just close to home. This comes from the Seattle Times.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you heard anything about this story.
I don't follow the news, Donnell. That's I get more news during these discussions than I do.
So then I guess you didn't hear. So yeah, the headline is "Missing Zebra Finally Recovered in North Bend."
Nice.
Dude,
if I was just driving to work and I saw a zebra, I'd be like, okay, that's something.
Maybe that's what happened because that's the thing. These 4 zebras, while in transportation to the zoo, escaped, and they escaped. This is the part that gets me. They escaped April 28th.
Okay.
Which is last Saturday.
Yeah.
And 3 of them were immediately caught, but one of them was free until yesterday. Friday was when they May 3rd was when they finally caught this last one. And I'm like, how? How do you not? How do you misplace a zebra? That's what I get a day or 2, but like a whole week. It took a whole week to find a black and white horse.
It's in the woods.
I guess it's a horse. Sure, it's black and white. I don't know. It's just like we got nothing for it. But one thing that says is Shug misidentified as a stallion for much of the week, and I'm just like, what? Like they're not clear in that sentence if they're just saying that most people were calling Shug a male when it was a female, or if what they mean is it was misidentified as somebody's horse.
Yeah.
Because if anybody was like, oh, that's just a horse, I'm like, it's a freaking black and white. Like, there's no reason.
Did you know that they painted cows black and white like zebras, and it maybe like 90% reduction in mosquito bites. Like that's the evolutionary gain that the zebras get from the black and white. It's not for camouflage or anything like that. It keeps mosquitoes away.
Maybe humans should do that when they go out in the line.
Yeah.
Get yourself black and white, head out there. But yeah, so just for a whole week, zebras just been roaming around Washington.
Nice.
And I heard about this story earlier, and I heard that they had caught 3 of them, but one wasn't. But that was probably like on Sunday. And I figured, okay, well, by Monday, this will be wrapped up. It's a zebra. It doesn't, there's nowhere it really blends in. Yeah. But no, took them all week.
I don't feel comfortable with us having zebras at the zoo in Pacific Northwest. It's not the right climate. Like, it was sad. I don't know which zoo I went to, but they had the giraffes, and they had like sweaters on them.
Yeah.
And they were all like huddled up together in the corner of our room, like obviously uncomfortable with the situation in wintertime. And I'm like, yeah, this is not cool.
This is what they need. Yeah, I can agree with that, actually. All right. Robert, I'm gonna read you part of this headline. I want you to tell me what most likely comes to mind. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Priest accused by cops.
Starting out real bad.
Yeah. Whenever you hear priest accused by cops, everyone's
priest accused by any, priest.
Just priest, and especially priest
headline
accused.
got priest in it. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And no. And so when I first saw this headline, woo. But I'm going to finish the headline now, and then it's like, okay, well, this is a different type. Priest accused by cops of spending over $40,000 of church funds on Candy Crush and Pokemon Go.
Jesus.
Says it might have happened because he's just not a details guy. So I'm going to read it.
Well, I mean, I'll agree with that, because anybody who's a details person, probably not a priest. For reasons.
Yes.
Like reading comprehension reasons.
So I'm gonna read some of this because it's quite interesting. So Catholic priest in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, has been accused of police of dropping over $40,000 of church's money on mobile games, namely Candy Crush, Mario Kart Tour, Pokemon Go, various slot machine and hidden object games, and Cast Frenzy. I
need to know the ratios, because a lot of that had to go to the gambling one for sure, the slot machine one.
Well, you should hear his excuse. But anyways, so
look, this is deliberate, right? He linked the accounts.
So he tries to explain this whole thing. As reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer, Reverend Lawrence Kozak was charged by PA cops of using a credit card tied to the St. Thomas More Parish to spend $41,879 on addictive games for over several years. Per police affidavit,
where was the
purchases on church credit cards stretches all the way back to 2019, and the situation was first brought to attention of the church officials in 2022.
Yeah, nobody's auditing this?
Not for 3 years, apparently.
Yeah.
At the time, Kozak was brought in for a chat with the police, in which he told investigators that he has both his personal bank card and the credit card connected to his iPhone, because the latter is used to pay for streaming and Microsoft Office. So that's why. That's why it's in his iPhone.
Well, I mean, look, they're not a good IT team working at the Catholic Church.
Yeah, but still, so Kozak said he hadn't intentionally used the parish card for his in-game purchases, but might have accidentally done so because he's not a details guy. Usually just looks at the bottom line of the bill before hitting pay. Kozak explained that his purchases were about powering up, not gambling. No, not gambling. It's about powering up.
I mean, it makes total sense. Look, you can go crazy on some of these games.
Documents obtained by the police include a spreadsheet containing Apple transactions associated with the Apple ID, associated with Kozak between December 30th, 2018 and June 15th, 2022. Those records show a grand total. So remember, he used both the cards.
Yeah.
$41,897 on the church credit card.
Yeah.
You want to take a stab at how much this man spent in total on these games?
$150,000.
Need to add $75,000.
Oh, okay.
2,000 what or 214,260 or 214,265.
So okay, so I'm going to say that it was a mistake on the priest end. I don't think it was malicious. If there was more money on the church card, I would be like, okay. But if it's like 3 or more times that.
You think that, but you start leaning that way when you hear that line. But here's the thing. So other record shows Kozak made payments towards the church card balance from his personal bank account, totaling $10,700. So it's like he's paying the church card out of his personal. So he knew.
Okay.
And there's also this part on top of the Apple transactions for in-game boosts. Other records show that an Amazon account connected to Kozak used funds to buy fire tablets and kids' backpacks for his goddaughter. So it's like, no, this man knew. This man knew. But yeah,
I'm surprised that the church, if it was like a standalone like Baptist church or something, I'd be like, okay. But like this is the Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
They don't have they got their own police force or something. They got their own special ops unit that like deal with this sort of thing.
Where's the Vatican in this?
Yeah, that's great. It's so insane to me that people spend that much money on crap. Games. There's not a lot of really good cell phone games to begin with, and the amount of money people throw at like Clash of Clans or something is just like, what are you doing, man?
I actually just watched this video on YouTube that was talking about Monopoly Go, which is Monopoly mobile game.
Yeah,
and it's the highest like profitable, and I think in the video they're like last year it pulled in like $8.2 billion.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like
purchases, because there's also advertisement going on.
No, in purchases, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
crazy.
In revenue, or I think it's just saying in revenue, so profit. So yeah, maybe so much for anything, but I'm just like, what the hell?
And that's like not like everybody in the world has it and they're spending a couple of dollars. No, that's like 50 people or something. Like whales.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what they even in this documentary they were talking about. I was like, they do a lot of work because they want to get, like I said, that you got to hit your wells. Like it's sure. There's a bunch of people out there who's I'll throw $5, $10, maybe even $100, and maybe nothing. But there's a core group of people who are just funneling money in.
Yeah,
and that's
I saw a talk where the guy was like, "Who wins when a Wall Street banker and a Saudi prince go to war? You do." And like in Clash of Clans or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
God knows how much like Sam Bankman-Fried, like, because he had like if you read about him, there was some game that he just played all the time, and like God knows, he was a billionaire and he just threw money down the drain.
Yeah,
who knows how many millions of dollars he spent on whatever game he was playing.
Yeah, stupid ass mobile game.
Yeah.
All right, got 2 more. Both gonna be pretty quick. This one is a little bit more watching it, but because we haven't really, we've been doing some specials and stuff, haven't been able to do the news, we're just going to do it here. It comes from Popverse, and it says, the headline is, The Boys showrunner wanted to start a superhero porn site for the show, but Amazon said no.
I could see that. They don't want that image. But
yeah. Well, the whole reason is, I'm not sure if you remember that in a season 2 episode called Butcher Baker Candlestick Maker, they go to Lamplighters. Or they go to Lamplighter's place and they find a stack of superhero porn DVDs that they're looking at.
Yeah.
Well, according to insiders from the show, they say they had actually made porn for those DVDs.
Oh.
And so the showrunner was like, well, we made it. Which I don't know why.
Yeah, just dump that on Pornhub, man.
They wanted to make their own. It was going to be called Soup Hub.
I like it.
And it was going to be porn that was superhero based. But
there's no way Amazon isn't in the porn business.
Oh, they probably are. But just like Disney, until recently, Disney would never admit that they make rated R movies all the time. It's just under a different thing. It's the same thing. It's like Amazon.
Disney does or used to own a porn studio.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's like, no. Like Disney is perfectly fine with making porn and rated R videos. Not under the Disney name, though. Boy, and The Boys is under Amazon's name. Yeah. So it would have to be like Amazon is probably, they probably got some money in porn, but they're like, we're not publicly. No one knows we do.
Dude, that's attention to detail. You didn't have to make the porn.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is like, you didn't have to actually make the porn. Since we don't see it in the show. They just talk about it.
That's like Seven. There's like the books that like when you go to the guy's apartment and he has all like the Oxford binders or whatever, and they're just like ramblings. Apparently they're all filled, and like the director like just like scrolled himself away for a month and just wrote madness into all of them. I'm like, we only look
Yeah,
at one of them.
I was about to say.
You could have just ruffled up the others
Yeah.
and made them look used. Like
It's crazy. Some people just go all out and
Yeah.
stuff. This the last line is because in that same scene there's also a dildo, and the last line is here. They were also going to mass produce the dildos too, and they wanted to sell them directly on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, then Amazon
merchandising.
Amazon's like, no.
You could absolutely buy a dildo.
Oh, you
on
can
Amazon.
buy
You just
a
can't
dildo.
buy a soups.
A soups
Yeah.
dildo.
That's funny.
All right, and our last logo, or not logo, but it is about a logo. Our last article comes from the New York Post, and for me, this is just one. I'm like, is the human race this dumb?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
So TikTok. So
I've met many of them.
the headline is TikToker reveals little known detail about the 7-Eleven logo, and like, how did we miss this?
Oh.
So, anyways, I'm not even going to read most of it. The little known detail is I'm going to show you the logo, Robert. You've seen it, all that, right?
Yeah.
There it is. There's the 7. There's the 11. You notice that the end is lowercase. The N is lowercase, while everything else is uppercase.
Oh, I never noticed that.
That's the detail. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I will also admit I never noticed that either. And so cool. And if that were the story stopped, that'd be fine. But then they go into people's reactions to this, and people
Now
are
it
writing
didn't. It
things-
wasn't always lowercase. That's interesting.
People
It was lowercase
are
up
responding.
until 1968.
Hmm.
Before that, it was uppercase.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So here is people's response to it, and this is why I'm like, okay, what is going on? It's like I said, I will admit I did not notice, and that's a cool little fact. But people are they like one person just responded back, mind blown. I'm like, your mind's blown by the fact that the 7-Eleven sign has a lowercase n. Another person said, amazing, this is life changing. Another guy put, this is so incredible. How did I never notice that? I'm just like, stop it. Like, cool. Yeah, that's a detail that most of us didn't notice. And like I said, my reaction, oh, cool, nice to know. And then I move on. These people are like, mind blown, man. I'm like, this is all it takes to blow your mind? Like, we just watched a documentary about the steam engine and how that's put together. But all this man needed to see was that there was a lowercase n in 7-Eleven.
11 used to be all lowercase from 2013 until 2021. That's interesting. It also used to be called 7-Eleven Dairy Stores.
I knew that part, actually.
And it was originally called Totem Service. With ice, like, separated. So, like, Totem serve ice.
I never knew.
But is there any explanation of why the N is lowercase?
Not in this article. That no one did the work. I mean, I guess I could do the work to figure it out, but I just go off the article. And in the article, no one did the work. One guy said probably for it gets people's attention, which I'm like, I don't know if no one noticed it. I don't know if you could say it got people's attention. I mean, it's 7-Eleven. It's not like they need to advertise. You're going to stop there if you want a quick Slurpee or something. It's a 7-Eleven.
The N in 7-Eleven's logo has been lowercase since 1968 when the company's president's first wife, First wife. Okay, gotcha. Suggested the change to make the logo look more graceful. She thought the all caps version seemed aggressive.
Okay.
All right then.
So just one
Calls for divorce.
Yeah. I'm surprised after he got divorced, he didn't reverse that shit. Like, you do it for your wife, but when she's gone, like, screw that. My logo. Just out of spite, you make everything you make it even more aggressive. I don't know how, but add sharp edges to everything for no reason.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, I show her.
I never noticed that.
Never noticed it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like the arrow in FedEx.
Yep. Yeah.
Or the bear and the Trobolone chocolates. Yeah.
Like I said, those are all unique things that I didn't know until a certain point. But I never was like, oh my God, it's mind blown. I'm just like, no. It's just like, that's nice.
Yeah.
And that article was probably, I read that article.
It's been that way for 50 years. It's like, more than that, right?
Yeah,
70?
more than that.
No, 55 years.
I thought you said it was
56 years.
1968. Okay, 1968. Okay, yeah, we're almost there.
No, we're 56
We're
years.
at 56.
Yeah.
Nice.
So most people that are alive.
Most
their
people
whole
that are
life.
alive, their whole life, it's been lowercase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it's been lowercase my whole life.
So elegant.
Yes.
Less aggressive.
I will say, when I was walking up to 7-Eleven, I was it feels really graceful up in here.
I'm just going to stop capitalizing N altogether.
Yeah.
Ever.
Just
Like,
no
yeah.
matter what.
Never, no what? Yeah, no matter what. I'm like, well, I didn't want to be aggressive. Like, like trying to send somebody a letter that's like nice, and I'm like, no, let's bring it down.
Bring it down a little bit.
Yeah. Unless it's like 69, then that's the only time you capitalize the N in nice. Is when you're responding to 69. Yeah.
That should be the rule of the land now. I really feel like that's the only time is nice.
As always, you can find us on our website, watchingitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchingitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, if your mind was blown by the fact that there's a lowercase n, you can let us know. Or if you know of any other logos or strange things that people just don't notice, go ahead and send us that so we can have our minds blown for the next episode. And then, as always, give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.